Well, hello everyone and welcome back to Cable 14's Generation Z. Thanks for tuning in with us again, and as I promised before the break, a delicious treat. And that's what we're here for right now with the founder of Dolled Up Desserts, Katarina.
Hello, thank you so much for having me on the show today.
Oh, no problem.
I'm really excited to be here.
Yes, it's really exciting to have you here. I know it's kind of ironic because we were talking about lean and fit and being healthy as an entrepreneur, but we're still being healthy here with Dolled Up Desserts, which is good.
So yeah, I would say, you know, dessert is still dessert. It's a bit of a treat, but using more mindful ingredients that are better for you. So, and that's what we do, is try to make dessert a tiny bit better so you can enjoy it, you know, without feeling as much guilt. So,
which is great, which is very good. So why don't we just start off with talking about what inspired you to get into this business and to fund Dolled Up Desserts? So
Dolled Up Desserts really happened because I didn't like the fact that there were so many uninclusive dessert options in the city. I myself am allergic to gluten and dairy, and because of this allergy, whenever I went out for coffee with friends or went out for dinner and I wanted to eat something, something I actually liked, I couldn't. It usually had dairy in it, or the gluten-free option had dairy in it, or it just, you know, I ended up with a salad without the dressing. It just really was frustrating when all I wanted was the cheesecake that I knew what I've had for years and years. And so I myself have been baking for 15 years, and I taught myself from the moment I got diagnosed with these allergies to bake gluten-free, dairy-free, and then I started doing egg-free, and then eventually completely vegan and gluten-free. And started this business right after graduating from McMaster, and I haven't looked back. It's been fantastic.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And today we are going to be baking brownies.
Yeah.
So why don't we get off into that, because I'm really excited to start baking brownies.
So I've made it really easy for you to actually make my brownies at home. We have a whole line of baking mixes of all my recipes bagged. So really all you need to do for this baking mix is add oil, coconut oil, which is one of the easiest and most digestible oils that you can basically find on the market. About 3/4 cup melted. And then you also need to add organic maple syrup. I actually use a local maple syrup tapped from the area.
Awesome.
And we add about 1/2 cup of maple syrup to this as well.
And with all of these ingredients that we're using to make these great brownies, do you find that there's a big difference in the cost because you're using healthier ingredients that are vegan and gluten-free?
Yeah, there is a bit of a price difference, just purely because it's not as highly produced as some of the other more processed ingredients or things we commonly see in a grocery store. However, people who are following a gluten-free vegan diet are willing to pay that extra money because it is a much more mindfully produced ingredient, it's a much more reasonably sourced ingredient, and it has a lot more nutritional benefit. So in the end of the day, yes, it's a little bit more expensive, but it's worth it for your health, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So, anyways, so we've got the organic maple syrup and the coconut oil. We need to open the flaxseed. This is our egg. I'm just gonna rip this open. Excuse that.
Well, I know with the flaxseed, there's so much more health benefits to this, and it's really great with the coconut oil as well. And what are the health benefits to everything that we're using right now?
Yes, so coconut oil, as I mentioned, the most easily digested and processed oil possible. Even though, yes, coconut oil, fat is a fat is a fat. Coconut oil has a lot of benefit because your body just will process it above any other oil more quickly. With maple syrup, it is a sugar that is one of the least refined sugars on the market and has a lower glycemic index rate value, so it doesn't spike your sugars in your blood as quickly and doesn't require as much insulin to break down.
Okay.
And then flaxseed is really great, and this is what we use as an egg replacer. See, I put it into the water there. It'll eventually harden up. And the beauty of that is that it adds extra fiber to the brownies and omega-3 oils, which are really, really good for the breakdown of different fats like coconut oil or just sugars in general. And so while we're waiting for that to harden up a little bit, the egg, we can add our baking mix. In the baking mix, everything is mixed in there. It's about half the sugar of a regular baking mix, including the coconut, maple syrup as well. And you know, I'm gonna get you to stir it, so I'll explain what's in there. Go for it. Yeah, stir it right up. Really get in there.
I'm probably not as good as you are at this, but I can try.
The baking mix is made for people who don't bake as often as I do.
Great.
Right? But yeah, so what you're stirring actually right now is a protein-based flour. It's made primarily of chickpeas, which is a lot better than your average flour purely because it is a higher protein content. There's almond flour in there too, adding more additional vitamin E as well as protein, and a very limited amount of extra sugar added to it, and just the leavening agents, and that's really it. So now you've got a pretty good consistency here. We're just gonna add the egg as the last thing, mix that right in there. This is gonna add the extra moisture as well as hold everything together really nicely, really get it in. Yeah, you got it.
Well, it's great right now because now I feel like I'm getting a workout too, and then once I finish this, I'll enjoy this treat.
Exactly, it's a little bit of both. So really, once it's all mixed together, yeah, it looks really good.
Awesome.
Here. So once it's all mixed, all you gotta do, see, look at that, nice glossy color. We just pour it right into our pan. Usually an 8 by 8 inch pan is what I recommend for this.
And how long do you bake this for?
30 minutes.
30 minutes?
At 350 degrees.
Awesome. And do we have the final product here that we could maybe test?
Yes, we do. I wasn't expecting you to just eat the batter, even though I
that
love
wouldn't
it.
be too good, I don't think. Awesome.
So
all these look
brownies.
great.
I like to add chocolate chips and walnuts to them as well, and that really adds up a lot. But you can definitely try them yourself.
Okay, I'll try one right now.
Go for it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. So the brownies, when they're cooked, they're really gooey, but I've also had a lot of people say they're light. Like they're lighter than a regular brownie, and that's due to the mixture of the high protein flour and the almond flour together. The almond flour retains the moisture, but the mixture of protein flours makes it very light. So.
Yeah. Well, these are absolutely phenomenal. And just before we go, we're talking all about putting yourself out there and setting goals for yourself. So your advice about putting yourself out there and being brave, what would you give to aspiring entrepreneurs?
Man, this whole entire business has been putting myself out there. I'd say just do it. And make sure you find something that you love. Like with Dolled Up Desserts, I took my love of vintage and my love of baking and put the two of them together. And I did that because I knew that if I'm gonna be spending, 24 hours a day working on this and thinking about this constantly, it needs to be something I love.
Yes.
And I love it. Every single day I wake up and I'm just excited to get to work and excited to see what Dolled Up Desserts is gonna challenge me with today.
Yeah.
So whether it's good or bad, I still love it.
And that's absolutely phenomenal. And thank you so much for coming on the show today. You're definitely inspiring to me, and I'm sure you're inspiring to so many aspiring entrepreneurs out there. So keep doing what you're doing, and thank you for the brownies. They're delicious, and you'll want to try them too. So definitely give Katarina your contact information. You can contact her. You can check her out on her website, which is www.dolledupdesserts.com. So thank you so much for staying with us today on Generation Z. We really hope that you have learned a lot about goal setting and that you will definitely put all of these lessons that we've learned into practice with starting and growing your business so that you'll see success. And you'll want to stick with us for our next episode coming soon to see what the final step to growing your business is and to be successful. Thanks for sticking with us today. Have a great day.